These are the Carpathians, Europe's second largest mountain range. These mountains cover a large portion within Central and Eastern Europe and sweep in an arc that crosses through areas of the Czech Republic, Slovakia, Poland, Ukraine, and Romania. And nestled in the northern part of Slovakia lay the Tatra Mountains, a range that is not only home to the highest peaks of the Carpathians, but also to one of its most wild parts. Within the Tatra National Park is the largest area of protected and true European wilderness. It is a place where nature rules supreme and human interference is limited. However, the importance and significance of this area goes beyond great size or beauty, because within this wilderness, a key process is unfolding, one that is essential to the continued support and survival of humans.
We humans, beginning in the 18th century, have started with modern technology, steam engines, and then we had gasoline engines. We basically started to interfere everywhere in the world with the natural processes. And in reality, you and I, are the product of evolution. But the moment we started to interfere, we stopped that evolution. It just ended. So you can think a little bit into the future. If we have interrupted evolution, what will be the future of human mankind, of this earth be? Because if we are the result of evolution, but we now stop it, there will be no further evolution. So the idea behind wilderness is that we have to have certain spaces, albeit a little bit small, where this evolution can continue, because it must continue. Otherwise, we humans and the whole world around us will stop functioning, not the earth. Nature will survive, but we as humans will not survive.
When I was young, I never believed that wilderness we still have in Europe. Therefore, I travel a little bit around and try to learn what means wilderness actually. I visited the area in North America, in Siberia, etc. But then suddenly we realized with our friends that there is still something left in Europe. And it makes sense to make the effort to protect these remnants and create a network of European wilderness.
Wilderness is also the heritage of wildlife. It is their home, and in the valleys and mountains of the Tatras lives a great variety of animals. Frogs can be found in the small creeks, birds heard singing in the trees, and deer can be seen grazing on the meadows. From the smallest of beetles to the great large carnivores that truly make wilderness wild, wilderness is vital. But with over 7 billion people on Earth, the demand for space and resources is constant. Except that in an effort to provide for such demands, we end up losing our wilderness. As forests are cleared and lands developed to provide for these demands, we are slowly killing off the natural source of 2 very essential elements: clean, fresh air and drinkable water. As we gain one resource, we lose the other. and in doing so, we have created an imbalance. The results of which can be seen when animals cross over into human territory, whether they are seeking food or seeking wilderness that is simply no longer there. While such sightings may seem exciting, it is in reality a sign of an imbalance within nature. Traditionally, wilderness is said to be an inhospitable or uninhabited area. It is a place not defined as a home or as sustainable. However, in Europe, the wilderness is anything but inhospitable. It is a place rich in life and full of sounds, where the only law is the law of nature herself. So looking beyond tradition, what then is the true definition of wilderness?
It's a very nice word. It explains, and the content of that word is very complex. Very easy definition to explain to people what we are talking about is wilderness is self-will land. Land is doing what she wants, what it wants. And that is in one sentence saying everything what is behind. If you go a little bit more deeper, we have say that it's a land where people are not doing any active management. Mother Nature is doing that. That means that there is no hunting, there is no forestry operation, there is no grazing, there is no berry picking, and people go there just to enjoy that specific and very unique locations.
Within the Tatras, the complexity of wilderness protection can be seen within the different valleys. For 70 years, the Silent Valley has been under the protection of the Slovakian government. With no roads or logging to mar the landscapes, this area remains the largest and best protected of the wilderness, allowing both the animal inhabitants of the valley and its plant life the freedom to flourish. Within the other valleys, however, their protection is not so simple. In Jalovaca and Janska Valley, ownership is distributed between multiple landowners, and each with their own interests and ideas about what should happen to these areas. While some are keen to see the valleys turned into wilderness areas, others would prefer to build roads to open the valleys and allow access for logging. There is more to Europe's wilderness than just within the Tatras National Park. Moving across the border, we find a different approach to wilderness protection in the Zakharovany Krai National Park in Ukraine. While the park itself covers over 6,000 hectares, the wilderness proportion of this area consists of just 22% of the park. While the area is smaller than the large-scale wilderness found in the Tatras, the importance here lies not within size, but by ensuring that wilderness is still protected, regardless of how large or small the area. But while today the park and its wilderness are protected areas, it wasn't always so to begin with. Before its conservation in 2009, the park had a rather different history, as it was once part of a logging plant. Nowadays, logging of the land is limited and controlled, while within the park, logging has been completely excluded. The touristic and economic areas make up the outer and middle parts of the park, though these areas are less protected than the center area of the park, which is known as the core. In this area lies the most protected part of the park. Here, not only are activities such as logging or land development not allowed, it is also the location of the wilderness. Also located in the core of the park is a UNESCO World Natural Heritage Site, the primeval beech forests of the Carpathians. Here the lush forest stands as a remnant to a time when the beech trees once covered 2/5 of Europe. Now, however, areas such as these are all that remain of the once vast beech forests. However, the rich life found within these woods has not been lessened by the lowered number of the beech forests. As the woods continue to house and support a rich variety of wildlife. Today, with the protection of the wilderness area, the beech forests remain a unique and beautiful area and are able to grow back safely. Yet perhaps one of the most unique changes about the park can be found in the peat bog, with the return of the beavers. For many years, the beavers have been extinct in this area. However, a few years ago, the beavers suddenly appeared once more in the park. Since their reappearance, the results of their return can be seen with the changes of the park's landscape.
There are a few challenges ahead of the park management of this area, but from wilderness point of view, this is what is the wilderness about. Seeing the processes which are running by themselves, in this case, basically changes happening in front of our eyes. 2-3 years and ecosystems are completely changed. Water level raised, new animals comes, new plants, and this is a unique element of this process.
The processes seen in the wilderness of Zakravani Krai are only one of many examples of the miracle nature can make. Mother Nature has the power to grow, build, destroy, and create life on Earth. The power she holds is bigger than we can ever imagine, but it is a power that only she controls. The workings of nature are not something that we decide. We do not choose where the rivers will flow or the trees will grow. Nature is in control of that. We cannot control the flow of nature, but we can control her conservation.
It will take us about 24 hours and you will care. Because the first thing we will do is we take you out there, we put you on a spot in Bilovečka Forest, and we will not tell you that within a distance of about 500-600 meters, there's about 10 wolves and 3 bears running around. You will unpack your sleeping bag with us, you will lie down and you suddenly hear the wolves howling. You will shit yourself in your pants. And you say, what the hell? And at the same time, we will put the flashlight on your face and we will see the smile. Because you will suddenly realize that here in Europe, you can hear things that before you could only dream of seeing them in a movie. I mean, we all know Kevin Costner, the man who dances with the wolves. You can do that in Europe. And once you have that experience, you are infected by this virus. And you will never get rid of it, because you suddenly realize that there are things in this world which are worthwhile fighting for.